welcome to another We Be Talking episode 5. Not another episode 5, but it's episode 5. another We Be Talking.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm Justin.
What is up? I'm Logan.
And we discuss video games and anime if you're still coming along and you're new.
Woo!
But yeah, let's just go ahead and start jumping into this week of anime. So we had Crunchyroll Expo going on, so there was some announcements here and there. I mean, you're not going to get a whole lot. It's a lot of just, let's get the fans in here. They had a lot of voice actors coming in and like actual writers.
Yeah.
Kind of a cool thing to do at some point.
It is cool. I don't know.
I don't know where it was actually at all, but
indifferent on it because I feel like Crunchyroll should fix their service before throwing big expos, but that's just a personal opinion.
I've never used the Crunchyroll service.
It's really bad. Like, first of all, like, it has Flash, which we know Flash is going away, so they haven't switched to HTML5 yet. The player doesn't let you rewind to 0, which is just weird. So, like, if you ever want to rewind to 0, I don't even know how you do it, because I guess you have to rewind to like 3 seconds. Because it literally.
I think I have used it. The last time I used it, you couldn't buffer out. Was the last time I used it, and I was like, well, I can't use this because I can't buffer. And that was back when I was on like my parents' internet, which is like 1.5 down, which is terrible. It's garbage. And if you can't buffer anything out, you can't watch it.
Yeah, I don't know. Their player sucks. I'll be honest. But whatever. Crunchyroll Expo though.
Yeah, Crunchyroll Expo. But let's, talk about some of those announcements. So, one, The Rising of a Shield Hero got their world premiere at episode 1 at Crunchyroll. And it was announced that it'll be kicking off as part of the winter 2019 season, which I won't be watching because I do read this, which I'm surprised. I know a lot of people are happy it's getting an anime, but it updates so ridiculously slow. It's not even like once a month. It's like once every 3 months if you're lucky. Like, they're only like 50-something chapters in. It's unbelievably slow.
What is this? A light novel?
No, it's a manga.
Okay.
It's called Rising of the Shield Hero or something like that. I don't know. It's English. That was the English style that they were given. But when I'm on my manga readers, I only see the Japanese titles.
Right.
But so it is getting an anime. It wouldn't take long for them to catch up. It'll probably be one of those things where like they end up doing their own little ending or something like that on a season.
Yeah.
And which a lot of shows and like anime are ruined by doing that. Claymore's one I always go to, but you just gotta wait. And then when it updates super slowly, I don't know if that's something you jump in on or it's like a motivator for the writer or something.
That is a strange thing to pick. Like, I don't know. Because it's not something huge. I mean, I'm sure it's decently popular, but it's not like something super huge. Especially if, whatever. I don't know. I don't make these decisions. I don't get paid for this.
Yeah, so another announcement was Anima Yell, something like that. It's a cheerleading thing. It's going to be airing on October 7th. So, the premiere date. A lot of premiere dates came out, Crunchyroll. It's just, expected.
Right.
I don't know if I care about this.
A cheerleading
I know we have some friends who definitely would care about this because it's cute girls doing cute things as he would describe it.
Right. This is 100%. Yeah, has no interest from me at all.
None from me. But yeah, so let's just get those announcements out there. Another one was some manga called We Never Learn was announced it's getting a TV anime adaptation. So I don't know when that's coming. It was announced it's in the works. And if people care for something like that, I've never seen. Again,
Right.
there's so much like
I'll
anime
say
and manga out there. It's impossible to like keep up with
right.
anything.
I wonder how like the process of what gets picked.
I don't know if
Because
it's
like
entirely like popularity, but something like, oh, this is what the studio wants to do or work on.
right, that's what I'm saying. Like, do they just like literally find a Excel spreadsheet of all manga and just kind of go through some of them? I
Uh,
just want to know like like who's like, hey, I want to do this certain one out of the millions out there, just because.
I mean, it's also could be based on the Japanese popularity, which we wouldn't know. Like we can see
True.
the fan base here and kind of judge things. Like there's some that I know have strong followings, but they're not like big followings. Very like I'd say Rising the Shield Hero doesn't have a big following. I mean, I know a couple people that read it, but and by a couple I mean one other. Uh, but it's more like I think it's just like I don't know. I honestly don't know how it's done. It's something to look
I don't
into,
know.
I guess, at some point.
I know some like they try and bring, they do it to bring more manga sales, but even then, I don't know which ones they're like. Yeah, this one deserves it over this one or whatever.
Yeah. Other than that, let's go on to another live adaptation that's in the works.
Oh boy,
First of all,
this anime section just becomes a release dates and live actions.
well, that's how the news are. Like anime itself is kind of tame, like what it
Right,
comes to.
there's nothing like there's no like wild scandals. It's like this voice actor did shit on the microphone during or whatever, you know.
Yeah,
It's pretty much just like this is coming out, this is coming out, this is coming out, you know, stuff like that.
yeah, like yeah. Even the announcements are really tame. It's just hey, got it coming. And it's nothing like a huge announcement or anything like that. Like something like wild, like we saw with Cyberpunk, gaming wise. But so Blood Sea. Apparently they had. It's like I don't know. It's like weird. Apparently they had a first one, and now this is another live action. The second live action film inspired by Blood Sea anime series, which I don't know how the anime series inspired anything. Uh, I dropped it within the first 6 minutes.
That's
Like,
another thing. Like what who chooses live actions? Are they like because those I felt like are based on popularity mostly,
yeah, that's what's called like. See, the,
but
the
I've
thing
never
that
heard
throws
of
me
Blood
off, it comes
Sea.
off Blood Club is like the title for the movie or something like the website for Blood Club, which I don't think that's what C stood for. And Blood C's like, see, Blood Sea was like a spin-off kind of a Blood Plus, which I love Blood Plus, and I was like, oh, there's Blood Sea, let me go try that. That was not what I wanted. I was like, this is fucking,
Right. I
this is
mean, it has
terrible, and I dropped the anime. It's like one of very few I dropped,
it
and
has a 6.7 on Mal, which is, kind of low since most of their ratings are generous. So I don't know why they'd pick, especially if it's a spinoff. Why not just do a Blood? I haven't seen either, but like if it's a spinoff, why not just do the original?
I don't know. Apparently, I think people. I don't know. I could not. I don't understand
Who
Blood Sea.
makes these?
If
I
someone
just
could
want
tell
to.
me why they like Blood Sea, and then I could be like, I don't understand this or not. I don't know. Someone has to tell me about Blood Sea because I couldn't get through it. It's not the characters. It's not what I wanted. It was like, and it's not even like a true spin-off. It's like a weird. It's almost impossible. I can't explain. It's just fucking weird. I don't like it. That's what I know. And apparently
Right.
they already had one live adaptation I didn't know about, but they're having another. So they posted a 60-second trailer. I don't care to watch it. But
I
yeah,
just
if somebody likes that stuff, they got something to look forward
I just
to.
want to meet the people who make these decisions. Just to sit on that, meeting of, all right, we finally narrowed it down to Blood Sea. What? What?
I
Oh
don't know.
well.
That's why I was confused, like because it's called Blood Club or whatever. I was like, is it like a fan made kind of thing or not? But
I don't know. I don't know.
So this is kind of outside of anime, but we got the world's first voice actress basketball league, which was actually really cool. I think
That's pretty cool.
they have 8 teams, one being from China, the others from like Japan.
Isn't
and
it the a women's basketball?
Yeah,
Or is it all?
yeah,
Like, do they have both? Because I read a women's one.
yeah. This is I said voice actress. That's women's.
Oh, I didn't hear. My bad.
Yeah, women. So, and it's actually certified by the Japan Basketball Association, and apparently going to be at an opening match is September 30th. So the end of this
That's
month.
pretty dope. Do you think
It's 3x3 basketball.
You think the more popular actresses get first dibs at teams?
Well, they already have their teams. So
You think they are gonna talk trash and their most known character?
this is like it's like I don't know who the voice actresses are. I don't know if they went too deep into it. I mean, they have. I mean, I see the pictures of all of them, but I don't fucking know who they are. So they have names here. They have names here for them on the teams, but I don't know. Like, they don't say what they're known for. They just have their people name. Here's like the team names. Okay, we got Hakudo Penguin, Gawkin Plus, Nippo.
Wait, these are team names?
Yeah. Oh wait, hold on. Those weren't the names. Those are where they're from. We got Bei Dao, Clutch, but Clutch after the U there's a plus and then a CH, so it's Clue plus.
Okay.
So
okay.
You got Koga Quane Twister, and then Goka Wayne Whirlwinds. So that's a Nippon Engineering College. So they got 2 teams.
That's pretty dope.
Pua Pure Party, Tweedia, and Wonder Rocket, and Cherubiati. Jesus, don't make me read Japanese stuff, okay?
You tried your best, I guess.
And they have the lineups there, but I couldn't tell you what they voice acted in. But I think that's just a cool thing to have. Like,
yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, that's actually super cool. I think,
especially when, I wonder if they had obviously they had voice actor leagues, I'm guessing. They just finally got a voice actress league, and they're doing 3x3, so it's not full 5-on-5, and they're playing with the official rules there. So, good luck to these women in their games.
Let the games begin.
I don't know if there was anything else big really that came out.
Right. I mean, anime's pretty mundane. It's just chill for the most part.
Yeah, I mean, everything was happening at Crunchyroll Expo, and it's not like it's just an event of people gathering to meet, their idols and stuff. It's not like any other expo. It's not like a video game expo where there's like just announcements being dropped and stuff like that.
Right.
Because I don't know, you really already know what's happening in the anime world. Nothing's like truly a surprise.
Yeah.
They don't ever keep projects like secret or something and like bam.
Right. There's never yeah, never mind.
I mean, the closest thing was like maybe the One Punch being a surprise.
That's what I was about to say. There's no like surprise announcements besides, I guess, One Punch recently. It was like, oh, 2020? Just kidding. 2019. It's like, oh, yay. That's it, though. Yay.
Which, I mean, if you wouldn't have gone to Reddit and got baited by those people's posts, I guess might not even been like a true surprise. But we can just go ahead and jump into our topic, I guess, which we just have it ambiguous as soundtracks.
Right. Kind of make it a broad topic since the news was pretty light.
Yeah. I kind of wonder how we want to go with this in the structure. What's your go-to soundtrack you listen to the most? Do you have one?
My go-to soundtrack, like from an anime,
Yeah.
I think it honestly depends on what anime I'm watching. So right now, I think Hero Academy has a fabulous soundtrack, especially like hype pump up music or like adrenaline flowing music. So they have a lot of that. So I listen to it. So right now, probably Hero Academy.
Yeah, I don't really have a go-to soundtrack because I usually listen to mixes. So like a chill music mix or something like that, or a sad music mix. Uh,
Right.
and it's rare for me to go to just an anime soundtrack, but if I do, it's usually like Cowboy Bebop, Outlaw Star, or something like that, where it's got the jazzy vibe
Yeah.
to it. And those are always my go-tos. Probably those two. Uh,
I do
I
listen
don't
to a
really.
lot of openings too.
I don't. I actually don't really listen to openings. Now
I
I
think
will
there's
go to
some
those bands that made the openings and listen to their albums. Uh,
right. I mean, every opening's a song usually,
yeah, well,
just
they're all.
TV sized.
Yeah, I just go to them. So like sometimes I get on that Maximum the Hormone kick, which is the Death Note, the second half of Death Note, not the
Yeah,
first half, because the first half is
I'll say
I can't think of them.
Man with a Mission has some
Yeah,
nice.
Man with a Mission. I started listening to them some. They got some
Right.
weird album cover photos. Have you ever looked at
They
them
have a
on?
weird
They're
thing
always
on.
wearing like a wolf mask.
Yeah, it's always in a wolf mask, and there's like six of them, and it's kind of strange. But I mean, their music's pretty hype,
No,
so
yeah, like the opening they did for Inuyashiki was just really cool, and just getting the full version of it.
right.
It's like
Do you think there's shows out there with the same opening? Do you think that's happened before? I'm sure it has, right?
the same opening
Like the
song.
like
Oh,
the same opening song.
I don't know actually.
I feel like it's
I've
had to
watched
happen.
like I wonder if like some of like the smaller animes that get through it, whatever.
Right. I know there's been, obviously there's been some with similar artists because
Well, yeah.
there's
So
not that many artists, but I wonder if there's got to be like two anime with the same exact song, and they're probably like, well, "This is awkward." It's a good song though,
I,
right?
I wonder if they have to approach the band to do it though. So I wonder if the band would ever be like, we already did that song for them, or if they do,
Right.
or if they don't. Well, they obviously have to have the rights to do it because. But I wonder if the studio purchased the right, and then any like, animation team or whatever can just use from that library and just.
Right.
And then
I'm trying to look up if there's any like same ones.
that'd be
Um,
crazy though. But yeah, I do love anime music, especially to like. I've never. Usually it's just like, relax to when I'm going to sleep or something like that, or uh,
there's
sometimes
I
the
like
background
sound
when I'm like reading or something like that.
right. I like soundtrack music in general because like there's like different moods songs like for literally anything. You have your cheery go happy song.
Like,
You have your sad songs. You have
like
your
Naruto
pump up
has like some of the
songs.
best like sad song mixes
They have
because,
yeah.
and that's
Their
like one
sad
of
songs
my.
are pretty
But it's not like I go to them because I like to be sad. It's more like they're just oddly like peaceful. I don't know.
yeah.
Like they are depressing if you think of the moments and stuff that's happening, but when you're not, it's just nice to
It's
listen to.
really calming. Like I don't know.
uh, but yeah, I just like usually when I listen to soundtracks, though, I typically go to video game music more often than I do to anime soundtracks.
Right.
There
I
are a
just think
few I liked. First of all, not Deja Vu. That song works, but the
Deja Vu.
soundtrack for Initial D get me in trouble when I'm driving sometimes because I'm all like
You're like, oh, I gotta
running
go.
in the '80s and I'm doing like a drift in my roundabout or something, and people are like, "What is he doing?"
There are some songs that just get you going. You're like, I gotta do something here. But
Initial D, I
man,
love that soundtrack actually for Initial D.
There's a lot of good. There's a lot of anime with good soundtracks. Like, like super good. Obviously, there's a
Which
lot of
anime do you
anime.
think has your favorite soundtrack?
My favorite soundtrack. Hmm. That's actually very difficult to answer. I mean, Naruto has a huge variety. It's
Well,
usually
that's
the
because it's
big.
super long.
This was like it's usually the big shonen just because they have so many songs. Like Fairy Tail has a super good soundtrack. So far Hero Academy has a super good one. Naruto has a good one. I like Steins Gates a lot, but that's just bias because I love Steins Gate. Whatever. But yeah, it's I can't really pinpoint a specific one. It's really hard.
Yeah, I said my go-to, but they're almost up there for my favorite. I say like it's funny because like Trigon's my favorite anime, but I feel like it's one of those soundtracks that are built perfectly with the show, but not the best to just listen to,
Right.
just because it's kind of like for the moment, not outside of it. So it's not like a built soundtrack.
Right.
Uh,
Does any soundtrack like change your opinion on anime? Like, have you ever like heard a song and be like, "Wow, that song is so good," and it stuck with you or anything?
See that, yeah, because I mean, I have them set for my ringtones and stuff. But like Cowboy Bebop, All Star, of course, like they got some kind of like
Because I mean, they're
memorial songs. But I've never had one like, oh, if it was bad, it turned me off towards the show or whatever. Because I don't think I just don't notice it then. Whereas if it's outstanding, I notice it. But I've never come out of anime like, oh, that soundtrack's bad or not very good.
yeah. I mean, most soundtrack in general is gonna be at least like average and fit the show. I think there's been a couple of times where I've been like, "That's a strange music choice for
Yeah,
like a
I have
specific
felt
moment."
that, but I think I
I
can't.
don't think I've ever been like every music or all the music I heard from the show is trash. But I will give anime props if they have a super good soundtrack. I'll be like, all right, that's
Yeah, that's how it's like. I think we talked about how we review at times, but I always said like soundtrack can be a bonus point, but it'll never be a negative.
right. Unless you super mess up, like you have to make like a bunch of gorillas banging on tambourines bad or something. Like it has to be something
I don't know, man.
terrible.
I think I'd listen. I'd watch it. I don't know if I'd listen to it. But yeah, exactly. Um, there much more to go into this for now. We can always get more specific later into it.
Right. It's nothing really, or like there's nothing much, not too much to talk about,
all right, so let's just
or
go.
much more.
But we can just go ahead and start jumping into video game news. So we had PAX West going on same time as Crunchyroll Expo. So of course we get some announcements out of there. But first, I mean, actually, do we get too many announcements from PAX West? I'm not sure. Some later down the road, I'll mention. I think we only
I
got like
can't
two, to be
really
honest.
remember.
I think we got like two, and I'll talk about those later. I think. Actually, we can talk about them now. We got. Hold on, I would have to find the page. That's the only problem. Okay. So the I think the biggest one, I think it came out of PAX West. It was during the weekend, so I would say so. Was Streets of Rage 4, which Streets of Rage is a very loved series that hasn't seen a release since 1994 when Streets of Rage 3 came out. Uh, so we are seeing this actually this month. There's like a whole bunch of old games just getting
I
announced
feel
and
like I have
coming back.
I've never even heard of Streets of Rage.
I've
Is this
heard
how far back does this go? Like,
it was Sega Genesis when it
all
kicked
right, so
off.
pretty far back.
Yes.
Streets of Rage 1 released in 1991. Wow.
Yeah. And 3 came out in 1994.
Okay, so what is this little revive old series thing going on? We've got like what, two the past few weeks?
Yeah,
Probably more
because
to come.
you said they're because the other one was Hardcore, which was coming from Dice or something like that. And yeah, we got Streets of Rage 4, which a lot of people were happy about because, first of all, this is what I'm talking about. Like, games have surprise announcements. You know, you don't expect to hear a game that's been dead for 24 something years or whatever just come out of nowhere and be like, oh hey, we're coming back, and it's like, oh damn, okay,
surprise.
People love that series. It was like a side scroller beat 'em up. I mean, kind of like the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle kind of styles, but kind of like that, just more refined and probably better, I would say. And actually, I don't know where this announcement came out of, actually. It doesn't really say. Square Enix they announced the release date for Dragon Quest Builders 2 for Japan, which is December 20th, which Dragon Quest Builders 2 is like, they just use the Dragon Quest world, and it's kind of like Minecraft. Which the first one did really well, because Dragon Quest is just huge in Japan. And we're seeing 11 come out Tuesday, which of course I'll be playing. But so I mean, everyone knows it's big in Japan, especially when you got the Hunter x Hunter writer, you know, not writing because he wants to play Dragon Quest.
I mean, hey, I've cut off some responsibilities to play video games, so I can't judge him.
Yeah, definitely can't judge him on that.
But man, he would make a lot of people happy if he just finished that goddamn series.
He probably would. I mean, I don't care, but I know a lot of other people care.
Oh yeah, you haven't even seen it, have you?
No, not at all. The other big... Okay, we got Onimusha getting a remake for their first one. So, or a remaster, not a remake. Or is it a remake? I don't fucking know. The point is, it's coming back. It's another old series. The game launched on PlayStation 2 in 2001. So
this is crazy. It's like, we're gonna just release stuff decades later.
Well, yeah, it's just like some games that were, you know, beloved back in the day but would appeal to a new audience today. Like, first of all, I will probably be getting it because I've heard so much talk about Onimusha throughout the years. So much. Everyone talk about how they love the series. I've never played it. I got a PlayStation 2 late in the cycle, so I missed like some of the... Actually, looking at the photos, I may have played a Onimusha game. May have.
I don't think
there were a lot of games I played in the PlayStation 2 cycle that kind of came and went, that I don't fully well remember at all. And looking at one of the screenshots makes it look like I played it, but cannot confirm I played it.
Must not have left a decent impression if you can't remember.
Well, you go back 17 years.
Did I play this? It looks very similar.
8 years old? If I'm doing my math right, something 17, 25, I don't fucking know. There's math. 8. So yeah, I don't. It's hard to remember stuff from that long ago. But I know a lot of people are happy for this too, and that's some big news. Some quick updates, I guess. Battlefield 5 got pushed back a month, which is probably a good thing after we talked about last week how they were, you know...
I was getting smoked.
Smoked by the competition.
We can be honest. We're honest here. It was getting destroyed.
And now they got pushed back, so they're at least giving themselves a little bit of a window for the hype of the other games to die down.
Very smart. Very smart.
Yeah. Everyone's going to be buying the other game, so it's going to have enough time for people to reaccumulate money to buy another game. Because, you know,
just enough time to pass where someone's like, I can spend $60 right now.
Yeah, exactly. It's not like, you know, coming out in the time frame where you're like, oh, I just spent $200 on these other games. I can't add this one to the library. If you're already getting Call of Duty, you're probably not going to get Battlefield at the same time. But if you like both games and you get a month in between them, you might be, accomplished with Call of Duty in a month or
Right.
whatever. A lot of people
Okay.
drop that game quick. You obviously got the hardcore fan base that will never leave it, but then you also got a lot of people that dabble in it. Like they get in,
Well,
wait in, and then they're like, oh, there's no campaign in
know.
this one, so people might get the Battlefield because it has campaign or whatever.
Right.
But the good break for them. Also, we got to see some more Cyberpunk 2077.
Cyberpunk numbers.
Well, it's by the same people who, of course, did the Witcher series, CD Projekt Red.
Right.
So this game
I've seen
probably
Witcher 3 very acclaimed to be a super good game. I've yet to play it. I do have it. I've yet to play it, but I've seen a lot of people say it's a super fun game. So
No, it's really good. Cyberpunk looks great. I know a lot of people are upset that it's first person. Like, who cares? They decided first person is the best way to play it. It's probably the best way to play it. Why are we doubting CD Projekt Red when it comes to a game?
Right,
They've
seem to
never
have a
let
good-
anyone down.
I'll say they have a good track record.
And they streamed it on Twitch. They did that little thing like Bethesda did with Fallout 4, where like they kept it going for a little bit. And it's like, all right, when is it going to come? Thankfully, it was only like an hour or something like that, or a couple hours where they did that. Where like Fallout 4 was like literally a week the stream was going before they showed like a 30-second clip. They showed 48 minutes of gameplay. I watched bits of it because, again, I don't like to get too spoiled into it, but they did mention, they were kind of worried about showing it just because it's really early in development, and it's the game can change a lot from now to when it comes out, and they don't want to give people false impressions, so they were sure to let everyone know that, hey, a lot of what you see could not be in the game. It could be completely different.
That's good. At least they're straightforward,
Yeah.
Some people try and, paint trailers to be like, look at all this, look how the game actually is, but it's just like...
Yeah, like, that's going on with the Spider-Man game right now, because, like, in the actual game, there's a trailer where, like, a puddle was bigger, and now in the game, like, the puddle's a little smaller, and everyone's like, oh, they're downgrading the game, why do we want this? Oh, it's gonna be garbage, they can't handle anything. And it's like, what the fuck are you guys saying, dude?
Oh my god.
Those are trailers, gameplay demos shown early, like, who cares? It's a damn puddle. Like, people made big deal about Watch Dogs where, like, oh, the reflections weren't there anymore. How, in any way, is that going to hamper your gaming experience that a puddle is smaller or whatever? Right. It's like...
I think some people just like to nitpick.
Yeah, that is how it
like
is.
A lot. Like aggressively nitpick. Sitting there, analyzing, have 6 monitors up, frame by frame analysis of the trailer versus actual gameplay. Every spot, mark it down.
Yeah, like,
and then they go straight to Twitter.
Yeah, like trailers they're built, like they're a 31-minute experience that's built specifically to get people hyped up. It's not like hey, this is exactly what it's going to be, especially when you're showing stuff early in development that's not, done. It's not going to come out for a while. You should never expect the finished product to be the same as something you see 2 years in advance or whatever.
Right.
Also, something I saw that's just interesting is Smash Ultimate is the top-selling Amazon game. Not even out yet of this year. Like, just the top out of everything that's come out. There's a God of War, just everything. It's the top-selling game on Amazon.
People love Smash. It has a very, very, like, dedicated, loyal fan base. Like, and they're honest. Like, they get hyped for every Smash, but if the Smash game is shit, it will be known. Like,
yeah, but they also got the huge casual crowd because it's got all these characters in it.
Right.
It's just a fun party game. It doesn't even matter if the game's bad or not. It ends up, like, if you're a casual player, as long as it's a fun party game, which they always are, like that.
It is a game you can just play with your friends, like a bunch of friends at once.
Yeah, because
like, are the best kind.
Yeah, and like they got all the fun stuff, like all the items and everything. Obviously, you're playing seriously, like we usually do. You want to have items, but for a party game, people are playing with items. They're gonna have their
I think that's what attracts it. It's casual, but people. I mean, it's not really made to be competitive, but people can turn it into competitive. So it reaches like both audiences. It's like, all right, if you want to just mess around, throw on a million Pokeballs, all these Smash balls, all that. If you want to take it serious, then
You can take
yada
it
yada
serious.
yada. All these rules.
And this one is by far, I think, the hypest one. They got all these new modes in it. They got
I
a lot
mean,
of
the fact that
returning
there's
modes, all
all
the
the
characters,
yeah,
new characters. People went insane for K. Rool and Ridley. And it's like Ridley's
and
such a
literally
weird,
everyone.
odd character, but people were
Just
happy.
wait till they drop Waluigi and everyone explodes.
Waluigi ain't coming.
He's gonna be like a DLC thing, I bet, or like a
I
first
wouldn't be
release.
surprised. I hope, this is what I hope, they keep him secret, and he's an unlockable character. Like
That would people would go nuts.
it won't happen.
You can get Waluigi.
Leaks, unfortunately, like ruin this industry all the time. So like, it's not like
Dude,
back in the day where
people-
like you would learn like nothing about a game. You would have to get a magazine, and you would get like bits of it. But like when you first played like Smash games, like you had no idea who those unlockable characters. It was just like challenger approaches. Like what? What the hell is a challenger
You're like-
approaching?
And like the fact that you didn't really know what you did to get the challenger approaching, you're like, oh, I have to win. It's like one of those moments you're like, I have to
Yeah,
win.
because you lost, you didn't unlock it.
Right,
It's
like it was
the first
so
time you
intense.
learned that, you're like, what? I didn't get him. What do we do? And it's like,
Then you sit there like trying to brain blast what you did to like get the challenge. You're like, what did I do? I gotta replicate everything I did today. Same breakfast, same everything.
but now
But
it's
yeah,
like
now
you know
people
everything.
People analyze like coding. It's like, oh, I found Waluigi's name in the 37th millionth line of code. He's in the game. It's like,
Yeah.
all right, cool.
And not only that, it's just like people within the like development studios are always leaking stuff out of like spite and stuff like that. Like, come on, guys. Like,
Yeah.
you're harming the development team, and you're also harming a lot of other people outside of it and stuff too. Like, stop doing that.
Yeah.
Some people like to be surprised when they get the game. Okay, that's why I don't watch a whole bunch of stuff. It's because when I get the game, I want to at least have some sort of surprise when I get to it.
Yeah. I feel you.
But yeah. So we got all our free September games coming out for people on PS Plus, Xbox. So PS Plus, your games for PS4 are Destiny 2, God of War 3 Remastered. So pretty big month actually for PlayStation for free games, especially since Destiny 2 is still kicking pretty strong. God of War 3 Remastered. I mean, if you haven't played God of War 3 by now, now's your chance. It was another one of those just too many quick time event games for me to care. You got a few other games in there, kind of small. You got your Twitch Prime games for the month that came out, which
Yeah, I saw there was quite a bit.
what I like about Twitch Prime at least is like always indie games.
Right.
and
There are some
nothing-
like indie gems out there that are super good.
Yeah, there are a lot. I like how Twitch Prime seems to give like focus on them. They're not too often giving out big games. Sometimes they are, but it's mostly like, oh, here's a bunch of indie games you've probably never heard of, because I haven't heard a lot of them that they're giving out most of the time, and I collect them. I haven't really played any of them, but hey, you can get the chance. And then the Xbox games are kind of lame, I guess. Maybe you can still get For Honor got extended release or something like that, so you can still pick up For Honor. The new one though is like Prison Architect and Livelock, and then
I feel like Microsoft is just slowly giving up on their game department, I guess. They're just kind of seeing let it just do whatever.
like yeah, their free games are not. No, I don't think it's very rare that they're better than PlayStation's free games. PlayStation's always giving out like pretty damn good stuff. But Xbox did announce their Xbox All Access Pass is what it's called, which is actually really cool. What they're doing is It's only from now till the end of the year. You have to go into a Microsoft store. But you can rent an Xbox One S or an Xbox One X. And it's like, if you're doing the Xbox One S, it's $22 a month. Xbox One X is $35 a month because of the difference in the consoles. But they come with the Xbox Live Gold, the Game Pass, which the Game Pass gives you access to a whole bunch of games and stuff like that. And after 24 months, so if you keep it for 2 years, you get the console is yours, and you get all the other stuff. And it comes out being cheaper if you were to buy the console and buy
That's
Xbox Gold and buy Game Pass.
Is it like a monthly thing?
Yeah.
Hmm.
I just said the payment amounts for per month.
Did you? I must have just literally
$22 a month for Xbox
Did
One
you?
X.
I don't even remember
$35 a month.
I'm gonna have to check that.
For Xbox One X. I don't think I read over that. Anyway, so yeah, they come out a cheaper one comes out like $140 cheaper or something like that if you do it that way. The Xbox One S. Xbox One X comes out like $20 cheaper.
Why wouldn't you do it that way?
I don't know. Other than to say, like, if you don't want to hold it for the full 2 years, because in less than 2 years, at least I'm guessing the next gen's going to be out. And they announced something cheaper. The full stream box, I guess. I do think it's a good thing to have, especially, you know, not everyone has the full $860 laying around for an Xbox One X with Xbox Live and all that. So being able to pay $35 a month is a good deal. But they're only doing it from now to the end of the year, where you have to go in. You have to go into the Microsoft Store, so basically more verified customers. It's probably it's kind of almost like we're loaning it out to you. So it's kind of like a credit check or something that they have to do just to make sure they can get it back. But it is nice that they're doing that. And I think it's just a test run, really, to see what they can do with the future.
That's pretty cool. Props to Xbox.
No, I think Xbox they do a lot of good, like, business decision making. It's just they don't do a lot of good gaming decisions that are good. Like, a lot of their gaming decisions, you know, like just canning a lot of their, like, exclusives and then just not releasing exclusives, really. That's why they're getting destroyed by, like, Sony when it comes to the console department. But I think a lot of things they do with the actual console is really well done. But yeah. So let's just, you know, jump into Fortnite again, because you can't have a week of gaming without Fortnite, right?
Always the Fortnite. It's everywhere.
So yeah, we'll just go ahead and pick up on the small things. So Fortnite is making it so if you use a keyboard on PS4, you will be playing against PC players, which is how it should be.
I would say they should do that. So props to them once again.
And I'm sure it's the same way if you do it on an Xbox. But the big thing that came out, where is it? Here we go. I have it. Is the crossplay that Sony loves to talk about, which they did make another statement related to Fortnite because people were talking with the crossplay in Fortnite. And the Sony chief executive said he felt on cross-platform, our way of thinking is always that PlayStation is the best place to play. Fortnite, I believe, partnering with PlayStation 4 is the best experience for users. That's our belief. So they don't want people on. So here, but actually, we're blah blah blah. So basically, they're saying is the best experience is on PS4. That's why they don't want them cross-playing with people on Xbox and Nintendo Switch.
That's so. That just feels like an arrogant take. We are clearly the best, so we will only play with our. All right, that's gonna come out weird. We will only play with ourselves.
Well, yeah, they said. But we already opened up some games as cross-platform with PC and some others, so we decide based on what it is the best user experience. That is our way of thinking of platform, cross-platform. So we know they let people play with PC. They let that Fortnite, Rocket League. It's mostly just hey, we don't want them playing with Xbox and Nintendo because we're the best console. Obviously, PC's different. The consoles.
Right.
And
Consoles. We're the best consoles.
And he goes into competition. He's like, I think competition is always good. Healthy, fair competition is always good for the industry growth, which I agree. But then he goes on to say, I think competition with Nintendo and Xbox is a healthy situation. I don't think crossplay really has relevance there.
That's what I'm about to say. Does crossplay, not allowing crossplay, encourage competition? The only way I can think of it is like, oh, my friend has a PS4 and the only way I can play Fortnite with them is if I also have a PS4. But no one's going to go... I don't think people are going to go buy a whole console to play... Well, maybe.
Not for cross-platform. Like, I think the reason like you buy a console is, well, it's cheaper than getting a PC. But two is you're getting it for like the exclusives and the gaming experience. Like, you're not really doing it like outside of exclusives. Like, I don't think your purpose of buying is like, I feel like that's why people chose the PS4 is because of all the exclusives. They didn't choose it because, oh, there's no crossplay with Xbox. They're not choosing Xbox because of crossplay or whatever. But like, so it's not like it doesn't help a competition. If anything, it hurts your image.
It's a very strange thing to bring up. Like, we don't want to crossplay this game that everyone is crossplaying because it encourages competition. It's just it's like, what? Everyone else agrees to crossplay, and you're like,
Switch is Nintendo's crossplaying with Xbox. This is Nintendo who keep themselves like isolated always.
Right, and for the longest time had like nothing multiplayer like online. Their online multiplayer used to be just bad. I don't know how to describe it.
I mean, it's still like, not great, but yeah, it was mostly like,
I don't know,
the friend code system. So awful. I don't know how it works on Switch, to be honest. I don't have a single multiplayer game on Switch. I won't until Smash comes out, and we'll see how terrible. Which actually now you have to pay for online for Nintendo. You didn't have to before. Now you will. So we'll see how that goes. But it is a lot cheaper.
Unfortunately, I don't think a utopia where all games are crossplay, that are all across all consoles, will ever exist. I feel like whoever gets ahead will always be like, nope.
Essentially. But, well, if Sony somehow falls behind, they would have to say yes, because I don't think Xbox would ever take it away. Just
right,
they put
that'd be a
themselves
huge backlash.
Position. Yeah, they already put themselves in position. But more Fortnite.
How often do you think those meetings occur? Do you think an Xbox rep like once a week calls up to you, hey, you guys want to crossplay yet? Nope. All right.
Well, they call them out like every time there's a conference or a convention or like an expo. They call out Sony literally every time, and it's like, hey guys, it's like, why can't we play with you? We're still waiting. They call out like, what's taking so long? It's not that hard to make a decision, guys. They keep doing all this weird stuff to say. They don't just if you're not gonna do it, just flat out say no, not just skirt around the issue.
Those are the we'll look into it, but we really believe that yada yada yada. It's just like, no, we're not going to because we want more money. Just say it. Just say it. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, whatever.
The other thing coming out of Fortnite was, so they skipped the Google Play Store, right, with their Android, and they had a download file. Well, there ended up being a vulnerability with their file, like we assumed could happen with hacking and stuff like that, which Google noticed. They issued them, hey, you're having some issues with your download file, it not being safe, there's security issues. And Fortnite said, or Epic at least said, all right, they fixed it. Please don't let anyone know for 90 days. Because that's like part of the Google thing is, let's see here. Google's closure. We notify vendors of vulnerabilities immediately with details shared in public with the defensive community after 90 days or sooner if the vendor releases a fix. But which I think it's dumb that if there is a vulnerability, that you're not allowed to tell the.
That you can't tell people.
Yeah, you can't tell the downloaders for 90 days. Like, how like even if you like Epic, they made a fix. They fixed it really quick, within like a day or something like that, and they went ahead and told Google, please don't tell anyone for 90 days. But Google also has it in there. If there's a fix, we'll tell people sooner. So they told people right away. Epic's not happy about it. They think it's like a jab because they're not on the Play Store. But it's really just, hey, if you have a vulnerability and I downloaded it, I want to know. As not, they're like, oh, we told people to download the newest one. Like, they didn't tell you why, because they don't want you to know there was a vulnerability with it. So it's like, but it already works fine. Not knowing you downloaded something that's stealing all your information. And it's like, but you can still play the game. You don't know that shit in your background. And it's like, you know, how about you tell me I downloaded something that I shouldn't, not just tell me to download a newer file.
Yeah, I can't be mad at Google for being like, hey, this was vulnerable. So, oh well, Epic, maybe you should have went through the Play Store and that wouldn't have happened. Yeah. Or not made a vulnerable file, you know? Just fix it.
I mean, they fixed it, so they did it really quickly at least. But it's still a, hey, they probably shouldn't have in the first place because you're a big company. 2, I don't know. The 2 is just don't fuck up like that. Like, why are you so mad that people know you had a vulnerable file? Like, oh, 90 days later, where it's already brushed over. Like, oh, by the way, 90 days ago, you guys downloaded a virus-infected file.
I feel like that's worse. Like hiding it. Like, obviously, there's going to be backlash no matter what. Because, like, if you come out the very next day, be like, hey, there was something vulnerable, we're going to fix it. People are going to be like, oh shit, that's not good. But it's going to be worse when you're like, oh, by the way, 3 months ago, you guys downloaded some bad shit. Sorry. I'm going to be like, why the fuck didn't you tell me? Like, I'm going to be more upset you hid it from me.
Yeah, like, I had this on my phone the whole time. It's like,
right.
It's like, man, what? But yeah, it's like, they're super mad at Google for letting people know. It's like, thank you, Google. It's like, thank you for letting us know there was something vulnerable. I mean, I didn't download it on my phone. I'm not going to play it on my phone ever.
Yeah,
I don't really play games on my phone. Well, let's just go ahead and finally get into the heavy stuff of the week with Riot Games.
Guess fucking who?
So, we talked about Riot Games a couple weeks ago about, you know, this rampant sexism, and, you know, it kind of got worse in a way. Like, first, Barry Hawkins, who used to be a director at Riot in like 2013, issued his statement. So he was like the first one that really issued a statement calling out Mark Merrill and Brandon Beck, I think is both of them. They both have, you know,
alliteration
names. That's what I was thinking. At least you knew what I was going for.
Don't worry, I was trying to think of the word. I was like
illiterate.
They have illiterate names.
Alliteration names. Who were the, you know, co-founders, which nobody else truly called them out. You know, they kind of like hinted towards it, but he was the one that basically said, "Hey, these guys are kind of behind a lot of this culture." Like Barry was talking about when he was working there, he was trying to see if he could change the culture, like slowly in a way, but he realized it's an impossible task. They had a conference in front of like 160 people where they made, basically their negotiation style was based off rape jokes, and they made them in front of, you know, this huge crowd. People were uncomfortable. You know, they talked about it with Barry. Barry was kind of uncomfortable, so he wanted to message. You know, I'm just kind of paraphrasing some of the stuff, and I'm taking some stuff and I'm kind of making my own little, probably like interpretation or something like that out of it. It's just, you know, you can interpret some things in here in a way that maybe they weren't intended to be, but, you know, you don't want to truly. Some people are nice in the way they talk about others, so It's
Right.
like the way I want to take it. And he messaged Brandon an email saying, "Hey, we should probably meet and talk about this and why you probably shouldn't make rape jokes at presentations in front of a huge company." And of course, Brandon passed that thread on to everybody, so a lot of the coworkers were able to make fun of Barry for being uncomfortable with the situation.
Yeah, it's just. Well, I mean, some people are just dumb or don't think. Or props to Barry, but man, the CEO's a dick
Yeah, both of
asshole.
them. Like they
Both
had
of them.
they had him come into a meeting to talk about it, and it was just Brandon saying uncomfortable things to him, and Mark saying, "How do you feel about this?" He's like, "Well, you should probably talk to some of the other people that are feel uncomfortable, like the women in the company." Instead of asking me the same things over and over. It was
Right.
like
I'd
a
be like, you're
30-minute
being
meeting of them just repeating the same process over and over. And he was like, "This is it. This is enough."
you're being really annoying. So
uh, but it wasn't until like really after his post that, after 3 weeks, that Riot Games finally issued their statement. Um, Here, I guess, is Riot Games' official statement. For the past 3 weeks, we've been focused on listening and learning. As a company, we're used to patching problems ASAP, but this patch will not happen overnight. We will leave this change into our cultural DNA and leave no room for sexism or misogyny. Well, you need to go, Mark Merrill and Brandon Beck, apparently.
right.
Inclusivity, Jesus, words, man. Inclusivity, diversity, respect, and equality are all non-negotiable. To rioters, contractors, former rioters, and past contractors, we're sorry. We're sorry that Riot hasn't always been or wasn't the place we promised you, and we're sorry it took so long for us to hear you. In the days, weeks, months, years to come, we're going to make Riot a place we can all be proud of. To players, fans, past and present, we are humbled by the time you spent with us. We know the studio behind a game can be an important part of how you feel about the game. We know we've let you down, and we're committed to fixing it. End quote. Which is, first of all, it shouldn't take years. So don't say years to come.
Right, years.
Two, it's like, what was the other statement? Yeah, inclusivity, diversity, respect, and equality are all non-negotiable. Well, good luck with that, because it's
No,
not getting,
when your top two people are
and it's
the
all
embodiment
leadership.
of that, it's not gonna change.
Yeah, like, and it's just leadership all around. Like, uh, it's a lot of them. Like, hell, this whole statement with that you mentioned, I forgot to pull up the article for it, but they were doing their thing at PAX this weekend, where it was gonna be only for non-binaries and women. So
Right, they had like only women non-binaries until like the time was 2:30, but I don't know how long they had the panel or conference or room. So their solution to I mean, I kind of understand what they're trying to do, but their solution to combat sexism is to exclude all men from this panel thing.
yeah,
Which
especially after their statement, inclusivity, diversity, respect, and equality are all non-negotiable.
right.
And then they just throw that out. They're literally the next thing they do.
And like I've seen like Reddit was like, hey, this is, sexist against men, which I mean, if you look up the term sexism, it's literally it's literally by definition that's what it is. The fact that it's fine for Riot to try and target like a certain audience or whatever, even though I feel like you should just hire whoever's, best for the job. But the fact that they did it at a public event that people pay and travel to is why people are mad. It's like, what if someone wanted to go to that Riot event, traveled from wherever, and then they're like, oh, nope, you can't come in here because you're a male? It's like, okay, that doesn't really seem like you're solving issues. It seems like you're just trying to make up for it real quickly to try and hurry and change your image.
Yeah.
And
Um,
I mean, you've seen like the rioters' response to it.
yeah, I'm trying to find it. Like for some reason, it's so hard to find, but I read them. Yeah, here we go. No, never mind. That ain't it. I'm trying to find it because like the stuff they were saying, like they were just calling out their entire fan base, and just
right, there's
and it wasn't like chill. Like he just flat out was basically like the fan base is all a toxic community, like terrible.
He
And it's
legit
like
replied to someone that said, "Fuck off."
yeah,
Like, that's how you're approaching this. Your way to stop being a toxic asshole company is
he
to
said
be
fuck off and sea lion somewhere else, whatever the hell that
right.
means.
Which
And then he
here,
blocked the person immediately.
Sea lion. I'm just reading the know your meme. This is what it refers to, in case no one knows. Sea lining is a slang term which is referring to intrusive attempts at engaging an unwilling debate opponent by feigning civility and incessantly requesting evidence to back up their claims.
Yeah, toxic landfill is the words he used for the Reddit community. You know, your base of loyal fans who've been there, who are still talking about your game, and they're just gonna call out their entire fan base like that, and it's just
right. It's so hypocritical for Riot to be like, you guys are the toxic problem, when it's been them the whole time. Like, you are the ones that fucked up. You are the ones doing it. Like, you're trying to like deflect blame.
yeah, like all right. It was a long post that guy at Riot made, but like some of the sort most commonly thrown around arguments that is being sexist against men, just like racism, and you can't fix a problem by doing the opposite of what a problem is. Cool, that's all bullshit. Systematic sexism and racism exists in the intersection of bigotry and power dynamics. Racism isn't just being called the N-word, it's that plus no one caring you protest, plus not being able to give a loan a white person would have gotten, plus being shot by the police for no reason. Taking a lot of leaps in there of what racism is. I don't know why he's going into racism, because that's not the issue. I mean, two, he's kind of wrong on racism there. It's not
just because they both end in ism doesn't mean they're the same or have even remotely, like, you can't just jump from one to the other because it convenience your argument.
Yeah, and he's like, it seems like he's given like his thing for what racism is like the only thing racism is. Like, it's a lot more deep to what he's going into. He's like given a very like he's given like a very like simple thing. He's like, being shot by the police for no reason. It's like, what? I mean, you can be shot by the police for no reason and that not be racism.
Right.
He's like, not caring when you protest. Well, apparently a lot of people are racist, because there's a lot of protests I don't care about. Especially not like the
what is that even? Not caring when other people protest? Or
yeah.
Not caring I don't have to protest?
Dude, I don't know. These guys aren't. It doesn't seem like they're the brightest.
Riot's very sensitive, even though they want to be, these toxic assholes all the time. There's been a lot of like the Reddit especially is like, a lot of people are like, it's okay. Like, you can have different views. That's okay. Like, if they think, women's only panel is a thing, whatever. But the fact that they're being giant assholes about it.
Yeah, and they called everyone man babies in the Reddit thread.
Quit being man babies. Yeah, you're the one arguing with people on Twitter telling them to fuck off because they bring up valid points.
Yeah, it's like, it's just, right? First of all, if they have this whole, they need to rework the company from ground up with a lot of these people. This guy needs to go.
More like top down.
Yeah. Because this guy that's like, he said, first of all, I don't care if you disagree with your fan base. Never come out and call them a toxic landfills, man babies. He says, but let's see. Yeah, he says, this thread is the reason women and non-married people need space away from people like you, he said to someone. Nobody's like in this thread insulting women or non-binary people at all.
Right, that's the thing. They're like, there's a bunch of racism, homophobism, sexism in those threads. I'm like, yeah, there probably is, and it's probably downvoted like 500 points because people are like, no, dude, that's not what we're arguing. Like, people in the thread are probably like, this guy's an asshole, but just because he commented it doesn't mean we're all that person. Like, all the top comments are like, yo, you shouldn't be, attacking people who bring up arguments. But Riot's like, no, that whole thread is like telling women to die and all this stuff. I'm like, where if all these exist, why don't you show some? But I know if you show some, it's going to be like a super downvoted comment.
Yeah, and like, first of all, some of the things he said is like, in the interest of justice, equality, and fairness, men need to be excluded sometimes. That's perfectly fine. That's against justice, equality, and fairness to exclude anyone. And I get,
What happened
I get what
to
he's trying to say. He wants more women to be involved or whatever, but they don't want to be involved with people like you.
right? That's the
Who,
thing. You're the ones that are toxic. It's your environment that's the, toxic landfill. It's not the people. We didn't make you guys shitty. That's the like. I don't get it. And you know what else is ironic? All these writers are like, "Oh, I'm going to speak for all women because because there's been tons of women that are in relations to like esports or Riot who are like, we don't agree with Riot either. Like, I don't need to, like there was one in particular. Her name was she was an analyst for one of the teams. I forgot her name, but she's like, I don't need Riot to cater to me. I don't think that's the best way to go about it. You don't fight fire with another fire. You don't try and cancel out two wrongs by doing both sides of the wrong. Man,
yeah, it's, I don't know, dude. It's just insane there. And
I just
they have so many teams there, so some teams are going to be clearly different. Like esports side, they don't know what's going on inside the company. Like, I want
esports
to
side
know
seems
what.
more.
Yeah, I kind of want to know what's going on over there a little bit. Like, I want to see like Shocks or someone make a statement or something. See what they know, what she's gone through or something like that, or at least some other people. But esports
Right.
side seems a lot more different.
It seems like more of a positive environment, but
Yeah,
that's hard to like. Obviously, when they're hosting an event or presenting towards
yeah.
people, they're going to be positive.
Which where I'm going to segue is over to the esports team because apparently esports hasn't made money at all. Period for Riot. Like they're losing a lot of money and they're actually cutting back a lot now on for the events and stuff because they have to figure out how to way to fix the budget and actually make money. So they're spending
Right.
like 100 million per year on
Yeah, I've
it,
seen that.
and now
There are
so
steps they can take though, which
yeah,
they refuse to do. Oddly enough, like for example, a Twitch subscription to their main channel, which they don't have. Also, I feel like some of Riot's problems, they always try and get a legendary venue, They
yeah,
wanted Staples Center, they wanted that Chicago venue, they wanted Madison Square Garden. It's
yeah.
like,
And it's like how much? Like first of all, I know that's expensive, but what are they selling the tickets for? I've never actually looked. Like, are they even selling the tickets for the amount they should be selling them for? Like,
I
are
don't
they
even know
selling
if
them
they
too
covered
low?
those venues are like, I feel like those are cool, a one-time thing, but you don't have to keep going to those venues. Just go to a venue that holds a lot of people, sell more tickets. No one's going to be like, "Oh, don't I'm not going to go to Worlds. It's not in Madison Square Garden." No one's going to say that. Like, and for example, the Chicago venue, I think it was last year Worlds or either Worlds before. Yeah, it's prestigious, but it only held like 1,000 or so. It's like, okay, I guarantee you paid a lot for this. I mean, this isn't their only problem. Obviously, there's tons of other stuff. Like they obviously have like high quality production all the time and all that. But I'm just using like small examples. It's like, why don't you just focus on, I don't know. I'm
Yeah,
not a budget man. I'm not their finance team.
and I'm not sure. Like, maybe release more team skins than just the world champs. Like, if you're trying to make
Right.
more
I don't know
money
why they don't
back,
do that.
why not
Like
split champs? You know, like
right.
NA split champs. All right, they get it once. EU they get it. Like, Oceanic or whatever these other random teams are in these other weird regions. Throw those in. But it's just a company that doesn't know what they're doing all around.
Apparently, they stumbled into a great game, and now they're just hoping it lasts. The thing is, if they keep making people mad, it's not gonna go well.
Because they're supposedly working on more games now. Good luck getting those out when you're getting through all this, or
sorry,
I'm
too much of a toxic man baby to play that game. Maybe next time.
Yeah. Oh man, Riot. I guess our conclusion with Riot is
I legit feel like they need
rework everything.
I feel like they need to rework their management team, their top level management team. They need to.
I mean, Tencent owns the majority of them. They can come in, replace them with Chinese.
You're out.
We're taking this game mobile, guys. It was what?
Man. But thank you, Riot, for giving us stuff to talk about. You're the real mess ups of the week.
You're the real mess ups. It's out of control. Not out of control when you have to talk about it in multiple episodes.
Right. This is what, the third straight episode they've been in the news?
Something
for negative things. For really
negative things. Yikes, guys. Yikes.
Can't wait till next week when Riot murders someone on accident.
It says, we just murder someone. Oh no.
Riot says the best way to fix sexism is to murder all men in their company.
This would be a good solution. No, just joking. What's this?
Can't be sexist if there's only one gender.
Let's just end that topic there. These
are clearly jokes.
Yeah,
what people.
Yeah, exactly. Let's just jump into the topic for video games, which
sure
I basically came up with remasters. Since we're getting so many of them, why not? Let's talk about remasters. Are they happening too often? Are they not? Are they just good things to have? Just a lot of things in here.
Right. First of all, I'm fine with some remasters.
Yeah, I'm fine with remasters, remakes, especially old games like Onimusha. Games that were good, that a lot of the people didn't get to experience because they were too young. They couldn't have those consoles back then, but now we do. The remasters that get me are when a game comes out, and then less than 2 years there's a remaster on a console. And it's
those are 100% money grabs.
It's we please not see those, and it's
those are not needed.
Some games get remastered that clearly don't need a remaster. Last of Us got remastered for the PS4, which I can kind of see because it was towards the end of the cycle of the PS3, and then the PS4 just came out. But it's but then there's some or Final Fantasy X was the one it came out on PS3. I was yes, I got the huge collector's edition. I was all right, I'll replay this. I didn't really need to. I played the game a lot back when it was on PS2, but it was good. And then they're also announced a couple weeks after the PS3 one, there's a remaster coming to the PS4, which has a collector's edition, and there's gonna be some slightly different content than was one in the PS3. And it's well, fuck you guys. Why couldn't you announce this 2 weeks ago before the PS3 version came out? It's when the PS4 was out or whatever, and it's I would have waited. No, I got this one. Got the PS4 one. Instead, it's oh, okay, you're gonna make us all buy the PS3 one. Want us to buy the PS4 one? It's no. And it's.
I like remasters that take games that were maybe either too early for their time or the consoles didn't have the capabilities to reach its full potential. Those are good remasters.
Yeah,
it's here, we're moving this game. A bunch of old games. I'm glad they are picking old games. Even though it seems kind of strange what they pick, but whatever. As long as they oh, we're gonna take this game, we're gonna, make it good.
Yeah. And then of course we're getting some remakes, which are a little different than remasters. Usually remasters just kind of up-resed. But I feel now it's becoming more a little I don't know, kind of like synonyms for each other. Usually remakes are referred to fully built from the ground up, but sometimes remasters are from the ground up. They call them remasters, and it's like, because like Crash Bandicoot got a remake where it was basically the same game, but they did rebuild it from the ground up to work with the new generation and everything. Which I heard that's supposed to be a really good remake. I didn't care for Crash Bandicoot back in the day, so I still don't care about it. We got the Spyro remaster that's coming out soon, which I know that one makes sense. People loved the Spyro series. I liked it when I was a kid.
I would say I liked it too.
I don't know if I care enough to buy a remaster for it though. Mostly, I don't care for remastered games that like I already played and beat in the past too much. It's more of the ones that I didn't get an opportunity to play, like Onimusha, Spyro. I didn't play a whole lot of it, so it could be something I do pick up eventually. I care more about seeing games come from Japan over here that were never released here.
Right.
Those are the ones I've normally searched for, but I do feel like a lot of games are just being remastered now. It's like, oh, we don't have any ideas for what to do here, so let's just do a remaster. And it's like, it's just a constant stream of remasters now.
Yeah, the like new age remasters are just kind of, it seems just lazy. Want some more money, let's just remaster this game, people will buy it, which I don't know why, but you know, I don't know, I don't really care for, I don't know, I mean most remakes remasters are console, I feel, at least remasters, I feel like.
Yeah, usually sometimes they hit PC. A lot, actually. I think more and more are starting to hit PC just because they're kind of like those old. Some games, like Sony sticks to a lot of their old library when they bring them back, so those end up staying on the console. Whereas the other ones that get remastered that aren't inside of those circles, like Spyro, I think is hitting pretty much everything. But Spyro has its own issues with the remaster and stuff, where like game 1 will be on the disc, but games 2 and 3 have to be downloaded, which is just a weird thing to have. Like, oh, by the way, buy this trilogy on this disc. Right. You put in the disc, and it's like, oh, you have to download 2 and 3. It's like, why did I buy the disc? Especially if you're a rural person. It's like, oh, great. It's like, it's just a remaster, guys. How can we not? How can we not get that? How can we not get that right?
But it's just a remaster.
I feel like a lot of remasters sometimes aren't really well done, and it's like, come on, guys, it's not. Remakes I can understand because you're building it from ground up. Some of these remasters you're just up-resing. It comes out, it's like, what the hell were you guys doing? You could have just re-released the original and it would have been fine enough.
Right. I mean, like, if they're making a remaster that's like soon, it already, I don't know, it just indicates laziness from me, which could be why some just turn out meh. Meh.
Yeah, so, well, I think that does it for everything for games, really. Let's go ahead and jump into movies and TV. Nothing, actually. We finally got Disney's streaming service named. They came out. It's called Disney Play. Wow.
Very unique.
They promised they're going to undercut Netflix's monthly fee. Well, you better. You're only going to have Disney.
You're a specific targeted, like, subgenre of Netflix. Why would I pay full price for less stuff?
Yeah, exactly. Like, oh, we promised to undercut Netflix's monthly. It was like, Netflix gives me so much. Disney, you're going to give me Disney?
Right. Netflix gives me everything but Disney. Oh, I better go pay the exact same for just Disney.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, they said it is going to be the biggest priority of the company during 2019, which I don't know how big of a priority it is. It's not that hard, right? You just upload your stuff to it and let people stream from it. You got to buy some servers, I guess.
And I think Disney probably has a lot of... I mean, Disney owns like 1 million different companies. They got tons of priorities. It's not like Disney Play is going to take them that long.
Yeah, I don't know. Some of they are gonna get some stuff there that are coming up, like uh, and Captain Marvel is gonna be on there. Blah blah blah. Frozen 2, Toy Story 4.
Are
Um,
they gonna put like
they
all
are
the?
gonna have original content that'll be on there.
Are
So,
they gonna put like all the Marvel movies on there? Or
yeah, the ones they have full rights to are gonna be on there. So basically all the new stuff, and a lot of the old stuff that will be leaving Netflix to go there, because they're gonna have a live action Star Wars series. It's a TV, yeah, it's series.
wait, what?
So
A Star Wars TV series?
yeah,
It's funny when you say live action
well,
since Star Wars.
because they got Clone Wars and stuff like that.
Right, but like when I think of Star Wars, I already think
Oh yeah, I know.
live
But when it comes to
action.
TV, it's always been animated.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
that's why they put it here, live action. Because I was just
I feel
reading
like
straight off the
people need to
line.
get away from the word live action. Something about it just triggers me. Like, stop saying live
I
action.
think it's I think it'd be more appropriate to say
Just like a
animated if it's animated.
right by default, especially from a series or like a thing that started as live action. I don't know. They should have just said a new Star Wars TV series,
Yeah, but it's
not animated.
yeah, the TV series being helmed by the Iron Man director Jon Favreau, which he's done quite a bit of good stuff. He's also directing the Lion King remake, because I guess that needs a remake. Everything needs a remake
My
these days.
God.
Like those are weird ones that are being remade. Like those are kind of like, to me, timeless. Like they still look good no matter when you watch
Right,
them.
like you're gonna make it HD. It's gonna look like what? It's gonna look a bit brighter, I guess.
But no, they're going to be doing a full remake. Like I don't know. I haven't actually looked into the Lion King remake. I don't know if it's still like fully animated or not. Because the one that was done really well, I think, was um, Beauty and the Beast with Emma Watson. That one was actually really damn good. I don't know if you've seen that one yet or not. But
I've seen it.
all right, that one was really damn good. And that to me is a remake, right? Like,
Yeah.
I never cared for the original Beauty and the Beast actually, but that one did make me care for it. Lion King, I cared for the original a lot when I was a kid. I don't know what the remake's gonna be like, so I guess that's something to look forward to, possibly.
Maybe. Who
I'm not looking
knows?
forward to having to get this Disney Play bullshit. I'm gonna bypass it as
I
well
ain't
much
buying
as I
Disney
can.
Play.
Like I have
Unless it's
enough
like
monthly stuff,
$2.
which I get what they're going like. Oh, we're gonna have original content as well. It's like, yeah, but you're still just. How much more Star Wars stuff do we need? Okay, we're getting one movie a year. We got already an animated series. Now we need a TV series.
Right.
No, stop.
Like,
Stop. You're
people
killing.
know how to
You're
milk
killing Star
stuff.
Wars. Okay, there's a reason you're taking a break and canceled a whole bunch of the planned movies because you're killing it,
They are literally
and not the good way.
they are like overworking it to where it's dying of exhaustion. Let Star Wars have a break.
It really needs it. Like I love Star Wars, okay, but there's a certain point where enough is enough.
Right.
All right, let's move into something else. This is good news for me. Marvel. First of all, I forgot this was Marvel, but they did say they are working on more Blade movies with Wesley Snipes.
Okay.
I fucking love the Blade movies, okay? And I was like, you know what? I was fine with what we had. 4 was really weird, okay? I don't know what was going on with 4. It was just kind of weird because it was a different actor and everything. It was still good. But the fact we're getting more Blade actually makes me happy, especially when we got, these new big improved studios that have done nothing really wrong in the last decade. So
Yeah.
after Blade, essentially, I don't even remember when the original Blades were. I just remember loving them. I still
They were
watch them
pretty-
occasionally.
I feel like they're pretty old.
Yeah, I would. First Blade recently celebrated its 20th anniversary. So, 98, I guess, would have been the first one.
Yep. August 20, 1998. And then Blade Trinity was 2004.
yeah, so did you like the Blade movies? Did you?
Yeah, they're pretty enjoyable. I mean, Wesley Snipes is a badass.
Yeah.
I mean, I didn't watch them a ton. I do remember them. Doesn't he have like a sword
Yeah, he
that he pulls
definitely
out of his back or
yeah,
like
yeah,
behind his?
yeah, he does. He's a badass. He's a vampire. So the trilogy of Blade. All right. So the fact that we're still getting Wesley Snipes and Marvel's in its heyday makes me truly excited that we're getting it back.
Right.
Did I need more? No, not really. But I'm not going to complain about having more.
But I'll take
I
it.
mean, I'll take it. That's how I am with a lot of things. Like some things, like, all right, it needs to die. Just let it stay as it was. And then there's stuff that's like, I'll take it if I get it. Blade's one of them. I'll take it. I'll take it. Those movies are just so fun. That's all I care about.
Yeah. I mean, I don't blame you.
And of course, the other, I guess, kind of big piece. I don't know exactly where they're going with it, but it's rumored is Netflix is working on a Diablo series.
Based off the game?
Yes. Which
I mean,
has interesting lore.
Right. I'm not super into it, but I mean, I have played it and it's fun.
Game.
And it seems like it could be a fun series if
a series, which is where things need to be done as not movies.
Right. Thank you.
It's kind of like Castlevania. So I'm guessing, Castlevania I think was really well done on Netflix. American. So to let people know that, just because when it comes to animated, most people think, they go straight to it's Japanese, some weird weave stuff, right? It's still anime, right, but it is American. And I'm guessing Diablo would be the same way. It is just rumored right now. So they do have a lot of ways they could go with Diablo, just because it's really deep in lore. I know.
Right.
I don't personally know because I never played it, but I know people talk about it.
There is a lot of lore, but lore. It has potential. I'll say that.
Yeah, really? The only if you go movies, shows, all that stuff, the only really good game adaptation I can think of is Castlevania. I'm a huge Castlevania fan, and the fact that they did it so well made me happy. And it's just, and it was an American anime and it did really well. And I was like, sometimes American anime can be hit or miss.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's a different experience because you're watching it in English. Because we watch based in the origin, so Japanese would be dubbed, and that would be yeah, but that's the origin. That's the origin of the anime is in Japan, so you watch it subbed.
Of course.
Yeah. Just don't watch things dubbed, right? That's the thing. It's American, you watch it in English. Japanese, you watch it Japanese. If it's Chinese, you watch it in Chinese or Mongolian or Mandarin, not Mongolian, Mandarin. Like that. Because I've taken a martial arts film from Hong Kong, watching English dub just for fun. It's atrocious, and it's just like watching an American film and Chinese dub, and it's a fucking terrible experience. You always watch the origin,
right?
Which that will just be an anime topic someday.
Yeah, it will.
It will, definitely. But yeah, that's really everything coming out this week. Nothing.
Woo!
Nothing else. Too jumpy.
Right. That was all over the place. It went from we're excited for this to serious to
the lighthearted. You gotta go kind of lighthearted. Get the serious in there, and then go back to lighthearted. Okay, you don't finish on the heavy stuff. You don't start on the heavy stuff. We could have got really heavier with some of the terrible stuff that happened throughout the week, but I'm not gonna go into that just because right, a lot of stuff that could come out of that. But yeah, so that does it for another We Be Talking.
Yeah,
episode 5.
Episode 5. Wow. Wow.
So, yeah, as all, yeah. Well, we got another 400 episodes to go anyway.
Yeah.
415 episodes to go.
Yeah, I knew you were gonna say that.
Till we get there. It's a lot of weeks, man.
That is over a year. Yes.
I think that's more than over a year. It's almost a week. You.
Oh yeah, weeks. Ooh, how many days? That is that's like 5 years.
We'll still be here, will you? Anyway, unless one of us somehow dies in a horrible. Oh,
Wow,
we're back to serious. Anyway,
I thought we were ending on heavy stuff.
Going towards our outro. As always, we can be reached here in YouTube. If you want to leave comments, of course, we'll always look at suggestions, feedback, and we'll mention them in the next episode. You know, if there's questions, we'll answer them in the episode. You can reach us on Twitter at CouchTalkYT, or even at our individual Twitters at Lord Ziltoid and at, I think you share, LS Butler 32. So
Correct.
Those will be in the description. Of course, you can email us at couchtalkyt@gmail.com. Anything like that, just any way you want to message us if you don't want to do it in a public forum. So email is always an option. And,
right.
you know, until the next We Be Talking. Peace out.
Ooh, see ya.